information that's so secret that you can only see it if you have a need to know within the U.S. government. And then the FBI says they took 4 sets of top secret documents, 3 sets of secret documents, and 3 sets of confidential documents. There's also an attachment, Tom, that explains, it's part of the warrant that explains what the FBI told the judge they were seeking before they got there. And this has some very interesting language in it, because it says that the FBI was seeking any physical documents with classification markings, along with any containers or boxes in which such documents are located. It also asked for information, including communications in any form, regarding the retrieval, storage, or transmission of national defense information or classified material, any government or presidential records created between January 2017 and January 20th, 2021, or any evidence of the knowing alteration, destruction, or concealment of any government or presidential records or any documents with classification markings. And lastly, Tom, there's another attachment in which the FBI describes the areas of the property where it will search and where it won't search. It talks about how Mar-a-Lago is a mansion with approximately 58 bedrooms and 33 bathrooms on a 17-acre estate. And the FBI says that they were going to search an area called the 45 office, all storage rooms, and all other rooms or areas.
This is how motherfuckers on. This is how the Twitter left thinks I live, by the way.
F. POTUS, the former president of the United States, and his staff, in which boxes or documents could be stored, including all structures or buildings on the estate.
Twitter anarchists be like, "Oh, that's Hasan's house. Hasan's house is probably larger than Trump's. Actually, we should kill Hasan first.
Members.
That's how we'll bring about the revolution.
Otherwise, not used by the former president. So it was a targeted search. They seized classified documents. They seized documents labeled regarding the president of France. And what's not in here, Tom, is any reference to nuclear material or any label of any kind that describes what these classified materials are. And that would make sense, because the FBI is not going to specifically lay out the nature of classified documents.
And Ken, the reason why you say that is because there's a Washington Post report saying that some of these documents
codes are not that significant. You can't fucking do anything. The launch codes change all the time. What's important is like more details about like our nuclear arms or nuclear details, nuclear plans.
Detail from what you've had so far. It sounds like there was a vast set of documents they were trying to get, but I think it's important for us to explain to the viewers that these documents were not the property of Donald Trump. They were the property of the United States government, correct?
Well, that is certainly the theory of the prosecution and the theory of the FBI and the circumstances under which they seize these documents. I think the Trump team is arguing something different. They are arguing that the president had inherent declassification authority and was free to take any document he wanted from the Oval Office or the White House as long as he said it was declassified. We've spoken to historians and scholars about that, and they don't see much evidence for that point of view in the law. I mean, the president can declassify anything, but there has to be a record of it. We're told there's a process and procedure, and particularly when it comes to highly classified.
But this is the fun thing. Here's a fun thing. I love Trump's legal team, dude. The Heritage Foundation, Stimson has a different view. I love Republicans so much because this is where they thrive, right? Like they've already been dominating in the talking point game for too long. So now they have to pop off, right? This is a moment where they have to act swiftly. So what kind of legal defense have they brought up for the declassification that he just talked about? If any president decides to declassify a document, it doesn't tell anybody, but he has made the decision to declassify something, then that document is declassified, Stimson said. The Heritage Foundation, baby! Let's fucking go! He added that there's a rich debate about whether or not a document is declassified if a president has decided, but not communicated it outside of his own head. Whoa! Let's fucking go! Stop playing with me, Heritage Foundation! Let's fucking go! New talking point just dropped. These motherfuckers are crazy, dude. They're so fucking insane. He just said a president can think about declassifying and declassify a document without telling any other motherfucker, and then it doesn't matter. This is what happens when you are so hopped up on debate purgatory that you just, and you get paid $700,000 a fucking year to come up with this shit, okay? Woo! It's basically an argument that a 14-year-old would conduct, okay? A 14-year-old would literally, if a 14-year-old was caught in a situation, okay, like This is the type of shit that they would come up with. This is the my dog ate my homework of legal jargon, okay? That's incredible. That is incredible. Are you fucking joking? Trump apparently leaked the warrant to Breitbart. The DOJ had sought to redact or shield some of the names of the agents involved. Trump took no caution. The Breitbart article has names of agents, which obviously puts a target on their back. Reprehensible. Trump needs to be stopped. Enough. Whoo! Goddamn. Shit's getting so spicy with it, dude. Shit is getting so incredibly spicy. Per the FBI search warrant, receipt signed by Trump attorney Christina Bobb, which is, fake. I mean, come on. 2 first names. We saw Christina Bobb. She's like a fucking weirdo. Property to be seized includes all physical documents, records, constituting evidence, contrabands, fruits of crime, or other items illegally possessed in violation of 18 U.S.C. 793, which is the espionage one, 2071, and 1519. Now, remember, they had this the entire fucking time. When Donald Trump was claiming, like, release the documents, DOJ, release it. Release the documents. Like, they had the document. They could have done it themselves, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Yeah.
To get him to turn them over without a search warrant. Afterwards, a small team of FBI agents visited Mar-a-Lago in early June, meeting with Trump's lawyers about the missing White House documents. The execution of the search warrant on Monday came only after DOJ concluded Trump still had not turned over everything demanded by the subpoena.
Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken.
Amid concern about increased threats to law enforcement officials, Garland also addressed harsh criticism of the FBI, some of it coming from prominent Republicans who have accused federal agents of going after Trump for political reasons.
I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked. The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants. Every day, they protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, and other threats to their safety while safeguarding our civil rights.
Sources tell ABC News that some of the material believed to be at Mar-a-Lago was so sensitive that authorities concluded that they needed to take possession of it immediately.
Let's get a little more on that, John, right now. When we're talking about these documents, we certainly believe that these are documents way beyond top secret.
Yeah, at least 2 levels above top secret. It's something called Special Access Programs Intelligence. SAP intelligence, George, is the ultimate need-to-know intelligence in the federal government. Material is only classified as SAP if it's believed that the revelation, the making public of that information would lead the country to be highly vulnerable. So this is really the ultimate classified intelligence, not even, it's material that very few people in the federal government would have access to.
John Carl, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. So, Dan, it appears that Donald Trump is not going to object, and we don't know for sure until we hear from his lawyer. So what are we going to learn? What are we going to see when the judge does allow this release?
The most important thing we're going to see is exactly what crimes they were investigating. There's going to be some housekeeping matters. The address. Exactly what types of items that they're allowed to go in there to try to find. Maybe even exactly where in the house they expect to find that stuff. But it is the specific crimes that become the most informative, although we are starting now to get all this information in, and so the crimes may not be that surprising.
But we're not going to see this entire affidavit that lays out the case.
Damn, bro, they're going to fucking dox Trump.
The judge that this is probable cause of a crime.
Correct. So you got 2 separate things. The affidavit is basically the argument from the government as to why they ought to get it. The search warrant itself is the thing when you arrive at the house to inform the person inside the house, here's why we're here, here's what we have a legal right to do. And remember that in a typical search warrant, you don't want to tell the person everything that you know in a possible criminal investigation.
I mean, it doesn't even fucking matter. There was a subpoena. Like, there was literally a fucking subpoena. They wanted to take these, they wanted to retrieve these documents in a way that was, like, amicable, in a way that didn't actually cause a scene, because it's Donald Trump, you know what I mean? And they just didn't do it. So, of course, it got to this fucking point. Of course it got to this fucking point And I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to say about it other than, like, what do you think was going to happen? That's the funniest part about this. The funniest part about the story is that the FBI, being the annoying, like, arm of capital that they always have been, most likely, given what Merrick Garland has said, tried to use the least invasive avenues that they could before coming to this, okay? And obviously, because of the fucking level of entitlement from these motherfuckers, they were like, nah, fuck that. Try me. You know what I mean? Fuck that. It's fine. And that's why we're at this point now. It's like, so the idea that, like, Republicans are up in arms about it, the idea that Republicans are up in arms about this, saying, like, this is so incredibly fucked up, how dare they, how dare they, how dare they, how dare the FBI do this, makes it additionally funny when it basically, like, they didn't want it to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like, they could have taken the documents silently, quietly, conducted an investigation, and probably at the end, I don't even know if something as serious would come of it. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, everyone's fucking melting down at Fox because it's
Getting
making
ready
it,
for that.
because now they got egg on their face a little bit. You know what I mean? Because espionage is a big fucking call. Top of the hour ad break is an even bigger call, though. Donald Trump might not be able to evade the espionage charges, but you can evade the top of the hour ad break. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break, and I'm going to serve it to you. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5, or you can do for free with a Twitch Prime, of course. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. Hopefully I'm your favorite streamer. Nobody else. I get jealous. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Okay, that's another way to avoid the ads as well. Morelli, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads. And Spine Wiggle, thank you for the 5 gifted. That's probably not good for your spine if it wiggles like that. Pearl Snap ATX, thank you for the 5 gifted. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Let's take a look at some of the meltdown. D-Pipes, thank you for the 5. Some of the meltdown from Brian Kilmeade this morning. Okay, after we finish this, we're going to do that.
So you're not going to disclose everything as you would in an affidavit to the judge.
Merrick Garland, famously tight-lipped. What do you make of the fact that he came out yesterday?
Like, it's a huge move by him, and I think that he really, he forced the former president's hand in this regard. Because remember, President Trump, the former president, could have released this on his own. He had this. He didn't need the court to say, you're allowed to do it. He could have just distributed it. Now, Merrick Garland effectively saying, look, we're fine with you making this public. We're going to go to the court and ask them to unseal it. And now the former president saying that he too will agree to that.
And I know that.
Yeah, I mean, they had like a brief one day, like, you release it first. Like, I think that the DOJ said we'll release it. Like, we'll ask a federal judge if we can release the details. Okay. But, like, you can just release it on your own if you want. You know what I mean? And then they did that. They Trump leaked it to Breitbart. Breitbart was trying to figure out a best way to spin it. And here we are, baby. Here we fucking are. Okay? Cushbomb with a take says, putting my money down that any documents at Mar-a-Lago were kept as souvenirs to impress South Florida's most divorced plastic surgeons at the wet meat buffet. I agree. Especially because, like, people are saying he's doing this for the Saudi government. He's going to sell this information to the Saudi government. That's why he was doing it. I can totally see this as being the funniest fucking reason as to why he took, like, classified top secret information. Okay. some guy, some, it's the funniest, and therefore it's the most likely. Okay.